Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry. Today we have something very special to show you, a Polish saber. Not just any Polish saber, but a Polish-Hungarian saber which I purchased directly from Silkfencing. Now you see, we recently returned home from Poland. It was a wonderful trip. We fell in love with the country, and that's a story for another time. However, one thing we did get to do was we got to have some very personal one-on-one lessons with Jurek, who runs Silkfencing, and I've bought products from him before, sparring gloves, sparring sabers. However, due to some shipping problems I've had, we weren't able to get a steel saber sent, so I used this opportunity to purchase one in person, and today we're going to check it out. So as I mentioned earlier, going to Poland was wonderful for so many reasons, but one of them was I got to meet in person Pan Miklaszewski, who owns and operates Silkfencing. Now, I have known him online for a bit, as not only have I purchased products from him before, sparring gloves and plastic sparring sabers, but also I've taken some online lessons from him. He is the source of my knowledge on Polish saber technique. He is, as far as I know, the best and most well-read and most well-versed on this subject. And it was excellent opportunity to meet him, take lessons in person, where I got to do drills and get a tune up from him and get shown some more advanced stuff to help me along my journey. But we're here to talk about the product today. Now, he has a store where they sell multiple different styles of shabla. They got ones with the hussar knuckle bow, you can get the thumb ring on them. They got more western ones, they got ones with more of a basket hilt. He's got everything, and the beautiful thing about it all these shabla, you can get them either blunt or sharp. Now, if you have the full kit to wear when you're sparring, you can get the blunt ones to actually spar with the real deal. Now, I don't own that, it's expensive, and I just do a bit of sparring with friends and family, so plastic ones are good enough for me. So I opted for the sharp option on this model. Now, this is the Polish-Hungarian shabla, because it is sort of like an evolution between the traditional Hungarian and the Polish. As you can see, the handle is shorter, it fits the hand tightly, which is a bit more of a Polish feature. The Hungarians have a longer handle. Also, this guard is slightly more narrower. That's usually a lot wider on some of the Hungarian ones we've seen. So I'm very happy with this purchase, and we're going to have a bit of a closer look at some of the details now. Alright, let's look at the guard detail. Everything on this, like all Silkfencing products, has a very nice, very handmade feel to it, and is very utilitarian and hard-wearing, not so much decorative and fancy. Although I do love this little touch here of this little like flower design. That is very nice. Now the grip it's not too soft at all. That is very firm. It fits tightly. There's zero movement. The pommel here, you can see how that's attached. Very tight, no movement. It fits my hand very perfectly. I have say a size 9 or 10 hand when it comes to gloves, so it fits that very perfectly. The guard here is very nice. As you can see, there's a bit of detailing on the end, and as we look down here, it's not just flat, there is definitely a shape to it. All in all, it's simple, elegant, and it still has that kind of handmade quality to it that a lot of their products have, which I really quite enjoy.
The flower's my favorite part.
Scabbards are an optional extra, and I opted to get one, and it's quite nice. It's very simplistic. You see here the molding fits the guard very well. You have some simple yet solid brass fittings. That ring, it's pretty thick, and it's stronger than many I've seen. Likewise here, it's a nice little detail here beside the ring. It's just not slapped over. That is very solid, not going anywhere. When we get down to the end here, as you can see, the end cap is very well made. That join-in work is very good. Sometimes this is where the seams show in lesser made products where this edging is done, but yeah, this is very, very nice. Now, I'm not sure if this is real or fake leather, but I guess it's not like the end of the world. And one little detail I'd like to add here is there is no metal plate in here, so this is not gonna, if we can focus, there we go, is not gonna dull the Saber, bring it in and out. That is timber, and the leather here is molded very, very well. It's not loose, and it's just perfectly cut. You do not need that metal plate, which a lot of them have. That will definitely knock the edge off when you pull it in and out. So yeah, the scabbard is an optional extra, but I'm glad I got one, as it is very well fit in, and without one it might have caused a bit of a mess in my check-in baggage on the way home on the plane. Now let's take a closer look at the blade, the most important part. Now as you can see, it's fixed in there, it butts up against the guard. That is based on the traditional method. It has double fullers all the way down, except the second fuller terminates here. If we can focus, there we go. Second fuller terminates here at the beginning of the false edge. The first fuller runs all the way here, halfway up it to the tip. Now this one here overall has a slightly more straighter blade in comparison to some of the Hungarian and other more Eastern inspired, and I love the way it gets thicker and feathers out towards the end. This is a classic shape, it's a beautiful shape, and it's very clean, very well done. There's not really much fault at all I can't pick any, to be quite honest, with any of this construction. We'll just go over the blade one last time. I gave it a tiny polish because, you know, to tell a little secret, we've already done the cutting with it. There we go, focus in on it, in on it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now one thing about this blade is there is very little to no distal taper for the majority of the length up until the false edge, where as you see it tapers off quite dramatically. Now one would expect this to, you know, affect handling. However, this is not the case at all, as we're going to see in a moment. Now, it is not a rule which is set in stone that every single sword requires distal taper from the guard all the way to the tip in a uniform manner. Many historical examples don't. Now, I'm not sure if entirely if the historical versions of this had distal taper or not, but it doesn't really affect the handling too much. As you can see, the point of balance is a tiny bit more forward than others. The others are probably here. That's maybe half a fist more towards the tip. Now, when it comes to handling, it still moves relatively quick in the hand. There is not really, it's very fast. I cannot say that it definitely feels a lot more quicker. It's a quick blade compared to some of the other ones I've had over the years, and I don't really mind it at all. I think that the blade geometry as it is perfectly fine. It's slightly different than some of the others I said. The point of balance is slightly further up due to there being less to no distal taper on the main part of the spine here. However, when it comes to like cutting, it's definitely still very quick. There's just, it moves very fast. Now this was one of the things that I was told in the description, was that this is light and powerful. Now we're going to find out. Upon weighing the Saber, I did indeed discover that it certainly is light. As you can see here, once the scale balances and I take my hand away, it comes up to 774 grams. That is very light indeed, definitely on the lighter end, especially considering some of the other ones I have are 850 to over a kilo.
It definitely is light. Even I can handle it.
The lightweight made this the first Polish Saber which you could slice water bottles with single-handed. Look at that proud face. We'd already established that the Saber was light, but here we prove the Saber is powerful as it slices straight through this genuine Japanese tatami. Now this is actually quite difficult with a single-handed sword, as you can see from this next cut, which doesn't go well. Well, there you have it. This Shabla lived up to all the expectations, it lived up to the hype, and I highly recommend them. I'll put a link to the shop in the description of this video because everyone always asks, where'd you buy, so I'll put the direct link in. You can buy not only this one, but a number of different variations, all sharp or blunt, and I hope you have fun looking at the site, and I hope you get something because this is definitely well worth the wait. Anyway, until next time, do widzenia.
Pa, pa.